So, I welcome everybody to the table to this what would you call podcast?
I call it a buffet.
What will be our conversation for today? Discussion, talk while you
What
eat.
happened in Toronto? This is the first time that I've ever actually seen the 401 washed out. I have never
Michael
seen
Lee
that
couldn't
ever.
get home. He came back to Cooper to sleep. He's like, dude, I went
5
to...
hours. Poor best 5 hours to get
He's
home.
like, first off, it took 4 hours for the bus to even get to the highway. When it got to the highway, most
You
of
should
the
have
shit
checked
was
my
underwater.
You should have checked my Facebook status. Though.
So they got everybody off
You know what I
the
put on my
bus.
Facebook status?
Yeah.
Don't
To
come
Jay,
north.
no. To Jay driving home from work was the best. No stupid traffic lights to slow me down. Yielding is for pussies.
And those are the people I was hating. What the fuck? Why don't they stop? It's a 4-way
I wasn't
stop.
driving though. I got a ride home, so I was just lying. But it just made sense, right?
Oh my god.
On the way from today, I actually had a car today. There's a couple of traffic lights were all messed up. They were like just flashing. But no, people are good. Like
Here's where I got
people are
lucky.
smart enough to drive around.
When
There's
such-
some one or two idiots that.
So Jad and I were driving home, and our time to get home, and what we noticed, we're only like 15, 20 minutes slower than usual. Turns out, as bad as the road conditions were and as slow as we were going, there were that few cars on the road that even maintaining 60 the whole way was good enough.
The funny thing is, I got home and I had power in my house. I was completely good. Well, I was reading reports that the rest of my side was destroyed, like pretty much like powerless for like till midnight. I was good, so that's why I put on my Twitter account like I
You
heard
were
it was-
watching wrestling.
I heard it rained today.
It's like, I wonder how it went for you guys.
Oh, wrestling! I didn't get all of it, but
Anything good?
I heard those Wyatt brothers debuted.
Mm-hmm.
You know how?
Whose ass did they kick?
A completely decimating Kane.
Just Kane though? I mean, that's cheap. If it
I
was
don't know. I didn't see it.
for their size, they can dominate any one single person fine, but
I haven't even seen them. I just heard about them.
it's not true. Well, Mar, how was your ride home?
It was fine. Right home
Fine?
wasn't a
You
problem.
lucky asshole.
He needs a 4.
In the evening, we didn't have any cash when the light went out. And the first thing that comes to my mind, I'm like, what's going to have cheap food? Or they're going to be giving away food. Pizza places or DQ's? I went to DQ's and got one of their melting cakes for my wife because it was her birthday. So that was the first thing we had to do was to go grab a cake. And yeah, DQ's was giving cakes out like $5, $10 cheaper because they were, again, like it was one of those things where...
I saw a face. They came out with the picture right away. There's a picture of Rob Ford doing a cannonball into the water, saying, "I'm here to. I'll clear this out."
A man of that
Speaking
size,
of
one
which-
cannonball should be enough.
Speaking of which, that guy must be glad the fact that it heats off of him now. Toronto's got shit to talk about.
No, but he will be back on, and he's the mayor of Toronto. Now they're going to question his reaction to everything.
That's funny though because it just shows you how cities are built because they're built based on the environment, right?
Canada's not designed to have floods
Like
and
back
hurricanes.
home, like for something like that to happen, it'd have to rain like a whole week,
Yeah.
which happens, right?
Well,
it does rain a whole week.
Here, it
nonstop.
actually said, I actually checked news reports. They said that the rain that we got in those few hours is
It's
the
a
actual
hun-
equivalent of the entire month.
1 month. In 3 hours.
1 month for here.
Yeah.
1 month for here, right?
That's true.
Like I said, like in other places.
So John
1
was
month of
actually
rain is
perfectly
way
fine
more
on the way
than-
home. He didn't have a problem because it reminded him of monsoon season in India.
Yeah.
Suggested like he felt so relaxed and comfortable driving yesterday, but that's when he realized why. It reminded him of home.
Then for dinner, we found the fact that Brampton still has electricity, so we
I'm
went.
good.
But even in 4 hours, my brother was panicking the shit out of himself because he's like, dude, we don't have any cash. We don't have any water. We don't have any groceries in the house. What the hell do we do?
Well, think of this. Even if you did have cash, most places don't have power in the register.
How
so
long
they
did
don't
you guys
sale.
have power for? 'Cause I had power like right away.
No, we had it from we didn't.
I
have
was
it
at
from,
I was at 20% of Mississauga that had power.
from 6 to 10:30.
Reliance was down. Dave Rickson, I was talking to him on the phone.
I was
He lives in
listening-
Scarborough too,
Dude.
and he was down.
Get this, I was listening to the radio on the way home, and they were they talked to somebody, a spokesperson from Anderson, right? And they're saying how 80%, like the 80% of Mississauga is like without power. And like, but we can only. So when are you gonna fix it? We can only fix it when when Hydro One fixes it first.
What?
That's what she said. Once they get their act together, then we can get our act together.
Because they must be boring.
Reselling or something.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking. You guys better not bitch because your print isn't done on
How
time.
come Hydro One Brampton wasn't affected?
Who was it? Toronto Hydro and who? There was Hydro One Brampton. Yeah, Toronto.
Brampton didn't have any light go out though.
Hydro One Brampton was affected. Brampton might not have had power outage, but Hydro One Brampton was affected.
I see. Oh, Hydro One. Yeah, it is Hydro One, right?
As the company, Hydro One Brampton was affected. I at home, we were fine.
Quite frankly, I didn't have any issues whatsoever. Just a lot
I think
of
the
traffic.
storm started east and headed west because around 3 o'clock, Sajjad got a call from his wife saying that it's really raining bad there. But 3 o'clock back in Mississauga, the skies are still clear. But when I left 5:20, it looked so much like the sun was setting.
But this is good though because weren't they complaining like last year that the level of
Not the water.
Lake Ontario was low?
Yep.
Well, there you go. You want to keep bitching some more? That's what happens. If anything, the most parts that were affected was anything near the lake because they're down
they're already
There's
Niagara.
The water can't go anywhere from there. At least Meadow, like where I live, is kind of higher up, so all our flushing goes down.
I live on the 16th floor. Planet Earth is down.
And you're watching.
Fuck it, I'm eating it.
And you got beachfront. Planet Earth goes down, you got beach property. And crossing your fingers that I just won't go a little bit higher. Like, stay at 15.
Say 15 and a half.
Yeah. And locking the door.
Oh yeah. Because last night my thought was, you know what? If the storm does get worse and more buildings are washed out, I'm on the 16th floor in a part of Scarborough that actually has gone through floods. If I'm in the water, then all of Toronto's gone. That's it. Everyone's done for. Everything's gonna blow up everywhere. Trains gonna go down everywhere. This is Noah's Ark all over again. Where the hell's the boat?
You're like, can I be half of the brown people that you're collecting specimens?
The male brown. Can I be the male hybrid? The brown guy born and raised in a white world?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be Noah trying to collect that kind of sample, You fucking back in the day it was simple, right? You just go to different regions. It'd be pretty simple to collect. Now it's like such mixtures that you're like, yeah, can I get the
But I'm the only Indian, Pakistani, Canadian that was born and raised in Toronto.
Did you guys get mongooses over there in
Mongoose?
No. What do you call it when it rains a lot in India?
Monsoon.
Monsoon. Sorry. Did you get monsoons? And I assume they're way worse than this.
We have a season called monsoon season.
Yeah. It's just rain.
It's been to a brutal situation, yeah. But I've never compared the millimeters or centimeters because I've never paid attention back home as to how bad it was or stuff.
There's a lot of different. The one in Chile, at least where I live, you get but it's the normal season in the winter.
Yeah,
So it rains a lot. And then when it overdoes it, everything goes to shit. But the only problem is it's cold. At least here it's warm, right?
I just have this feeling that I've seen the pictures online that are being posted up and down North America about what's happening in Toronto. I have a feeling there's going to be like some parts of the southern states where they're going to say,
fuck you.
it's like, that's our spring. That was awesome. That was amazing weather. What are you guys complaining about?
We have nothing to complain about. Look at Calgary, man. Calgary got decimated. Their freaking stadium
India was hit by an earthquake. When was that? I think. And 1,000 people died?
There's been landslides happening in India.
That's because you're not supposed to chop down all your trees.
Not just that, there's a couple of
Stop
pilgrimages.
drilling your damn mountains for tunnels for highways. That's the number one
They
issue right
don't
there.
do that. It's just the fact that the area that they have these pilgrimages at are prone to landslides. But people don't listen. People just want to go and visit their gods and pray and get blessings. I don't know, fucking get blessed. God's like, oh yeah, you want to come to me that bad? Let's just call you all over. 4,600 people to date have died, and there's still 90,000 people behind who got stuck because they were visiting the pilgrimage, but when they were coming back, it was already
You know,
Most of the street
Haiti
food
and
washed
Haiti
out.
and Dominican Republic, they share the same island. It's half and half, right? And you guys all know about Haiti. It's pretty much shit on Earth, right?
Sure.
Apparently, for a hurricane that hit the island, one person died in the Dominican Republic, and like fucking like 500 died in Haiti. And this is the same island, all because of the infrastructure. Because Haiti has like no trees. You guys have like, it's such a poor country. It's like a desert, pretty much. And on the other side,
Trees act as a deterrent for hurricanes. It blocks the way airflow.
And the other side, which is like it's a tourist. You know, so they have trees, they have like fucking pretty much a jungle. One guy died because he's an idiot, right? He just decided to go outside with a fucking hurricane. It's insane, though. What big a difference that
You
makes.
have to have idiots. If we don't have idiots, then you don't get to see how
But
you
if-
can survive.
If we didn't have idiots, we wouldn't have George Bush.
We would have had war.
Actually, it's the geniuses that go to war. The only question is, what's the true intent of the war? That's a discussion of its own that'll take like 20 years to complete.
There's a lot of reasons.
Money. I think I just labeled like 70% of the reasons right there.
Primarily, yeah.
Or keeping your army busy, too.
Army busy.
Because the Romans they didn't allow the army inside Rome because they never wanted a coup, right?
Yeah.
Fair
What do you think the U.S. has bases all over the place? What would happen if they brought all their guys back?
U.S. has their biggest base in Iraq.
Yep.
In the world, the biggest base in the world for military, it's in Iraq. It's not even for Iraqis, it is for their own military. U.S. don't have their own military base in U.S.
U.S. don't even
As
know how to
big
manage
as
themselves. I mean,
the
come
one in
on, a
Iraq.
big hole that destroyed friggin' Pentagon. And they're saying, oh, a plane did it. Well, when this plane magically disappeared and did not leave a single bit of scrap metal, don't you think that before it disappeared, it would have left some marks on the wall for the wings and not a
Over
massive
here.
hole?
No, this is the best one I saw. Picture on, again, unannounced asteroid goes into the atmosphere over Russia. Pictures from every fucking angle. Announced known aircraft heading for the Pentagon. No
one
evidence. No one knows. Nobody has a fucking name.
I saw that. I saw that one.
You're like, what? It's true though. What the fuck?
Exactly. Russian. There were videos online
They
before
have
the meteor
security
hit.
cameras. Yeah.
Before the meteor even hit, it was already on YouTube.
Before the fucking blast.
Exactly. One guy actually has a recording of it going from one into three pieces.
They're
and
there
then
taking
spreading out.
pictures, and the guy's like, "Oh, look at that." That's funny. Man.
It's like his dying wish. Please.
Could you pass me the fork and the knife?
That's funny how people forgot about that whole asteroid thing. But after that, everybody's like, "Oh, let's prepare if it happens again." Die down. Fuck that.
Well,
It's a
that's
random-
when,
it's a random
that's when you
occurrence.
see that alien guy using his hand signal. Russians.
Can you imagine how many people must have had issues with their insurance companies now just because the insurance companies might have wanted to get out of this whole bullshit, not have to pay up for every little thing? Because I did
But
see
imagine people who didn't get homeowners insurance.
not just that,
They're
people who no, there's clause for this, right? Like if the people who had their basements flooded, right? So the insurance company will only pay up if the flooding happened because of if the flooding happened, the water came through windows, they won't pay up. If the water came through
Soil.
main doorways or like you said through other seepage,
Through soil, through
sewage,
cracks in the wall.
sewers, then that's different. Then they'll
And as long as they don't consider it an act of God.
yeah, act of God. Yeah, look at that clause, right? Like act of God. There you go.
So can I
There's a whole
essentially-
movie back home about act of God.
Yeah. Can I sue God because of that?
You know exactly.
Well,
you know what happened?
Oh, really?
It's happened twice.
The Indian
Well, no, not
movie
successfully,
basically is based on the fact that the guy loses his property, and the insurance company says that he's a very honest to goodness businessman, and his
So he says
insurance
act of,
company
they
says
said act of God.
yeah, act of God clause that we can't cover this loss that you've had. He loses everything, and he has kids to marry and shit like that. So the guy goes and sues every religious entity
Yeah.
in India and basically tells them to come to court. And then argues through the whole movie. There's like sittings in court about this, and he wins it eventually. And
I mean, I think that's a stupid clause, act of God. Come
act
on.
of God, yeah, I know, what the hell?
What garbage is that?
It's still a loss, regardless, right? And we were.
How do you prove it?
The
How
reason-
do you prove it's an act of God anyway?
Yeah. He's like, if it's an act of God, there's so much money these people make off of knowing God, like saying that we will get you in touch with God. So he's like, I called you here to help me get in touch with God. Because I want to ask for my money back. He's like, I've been paying up this insurance company for ages, and now you're telling me act of God is why they're not going to pay up. So it's like, somebody's got to give me the money. Either it be the insurance company or God.
There was actually a real case where someone in the U.S., some guy sued God. And at the end they had to throw it out because God wasn't available to present himself.
But that's where the movie, I guess, expanded on that idea and called these religious figures into.
He was suing God for genocide and a bunch of fucking things.
War, death, pestilence, famine.
Yeah.
I think he was doing it for the highest level of mass genocide.
The court didn't go anywhere because it should have opened up a whole debate, existence or no. But then they thought, we're gonna just start fucking spending money just talking to each other. Nothing's really gonna get done.
Yeah, they should have followed up on it, knowing the fact that if the God's not there, then how is insurance company getting out of it? By just saying act of God. There's no presence of that entity. There should be a physical presence of that entity.
What is the evidence that it's an act of God?
Exactly.
Because we'll think of it like this.
I just sue the churches, all of them.
Yeah, just
this flood that happened.
Who is your leader, God? Okay, you're sued.
your money. Yeah, your God killed it.
No, but like the flood that just happened, it in itself is not entirely an act of God. A lot of the main damage that came from floods were not from the rainstorm itself, but were from a side effect of the rainstorm. Dams were overflowed, river banks were destroyed. These led to passageways, sewers were overflowed too, everything.
So you can sue the government.
Exactly. It's not an act of God.
Let's sue car manufacturers, let's sue electricity makers who make it out of coal and shit. And
Also
be like,
Ford.
you guys have been causing so much pollution, and now act of God caused this for an act of the environment.
You were not prepared for the wrath of God. Thus I sue you.
That's my wrath of God clause to you.
Thus, in the future, please build everything made out of lead, because apparently that goes against magic. That's what I've heard. That's some sort of defense mechanism against magic.
Was it lead or mercury?
I think it was lead. I'm not sure.
Could have been lead. One of those two.
Fuck, I love Caesar sauce. That's primarily the reason I fucking.
Yeah, it's a long court. A lot of deliberation went on.
But I would have watched that and I would have thought, you know what? I'm just gonna kick back, get a bag of Orville Redenbacher's popcorn with the pop-up bowl, just watch everyone sue each other and have this massive discussion and see what happens. I still remember there's this one quote I saw online. I saw it through a YouTube video actually. I forgot the name. Probably the most amazing thing I've ever heard, ever said in a public stance. It was this old show where basically groups of people and religious leaders from different religions would collect. They would sit sectioned off in their own religions, and they would actually discuss religious topics that affect multiple religions and how they're handled and treated. I don't remember what the priest said. He said something. He said that all aborted children immediately go to heaven. Children that are born may or may not go to heaven, but children that are aborted immediately go. So that's when an atheist woman says, so really what you're saying is we should abort every single child. Because in that stance, in that wording, we're actually doing them a favor by sending them all to heaven immediately. With no risk, there's no risk, no liability, nothing. If we abort every child.
Shortcut.
So that's when the guy
Isn't
says...
that a possessive nature of human being?
No, because the priest had originally said that if a child is aborted, they go straight to heaven. There is no question, no judgment.
I understand
But
that,
no,
but the
this is
thing
her
is their parents being possessive about their kids going to the heaven. It's not the kid's decision to go.
Remember, the woman that's
get
responding is atheist.
Yeah.
So what her response basically means is that even that is taken out of context. So she says that abort every child then, because in that sense, in that situation, by aborting them, you're doing them a favor. That's when the priest says it's not the same thing. She says, how is it not the same thing?
Priest probably meant it in misfortune, in the sense that a kid gets misfortuned into being the son of a parent who's
very
decided
possible.
to get them aborted.
But no, listen to this though.
Parents bear the punishment, but the kid at least saves his space.
So what's the
and-
response of
Listen
the
to
priest?
this. So the priest says you don't understand because you don't have faith. So what does a woman respond? By definition, to have faith means to believe in something without any evidence whatsoever. And I'm sorry, but I'm not an idiot. I heard that and I thought, you know what? She's not wrong. In a
Okay,
modern day
who's gonna
society,
get
why
it?
would you listen? I mean, why would you listen to something, right? Without any kind of proof.
I wonder if you could like, you know how? I wonder if you could blame God for losing like something. Like for example, you know how like you have people who win Grammys and awards and they always thank God. What if you don't win? You're nominated, but you don't win. Can you actually say, you know, I'm pretty
God,
sure
it's your fault.
You know,
fucked up.
they like they interview you, and you're like, yeah, I'm pretty sure God didn't want me to win. That's why I didn't win.
That's more like suing competition anyway. Sue the rest of the competition. Be like,
For making
you guys,
you lose.
if any of you guys won, I lose, which automatically means that you guys
It was your
chipped me
fault.
on the deal.
You know, God didn't want me to win. God obviously had his hand in this, and he screwed me. Like it could be like a boxer, it could be like any sports, right? The loser comes out saying something like, "I'm pretty sure God had a hand in this, and that's why I lost." Because it's impossible that I could have lost. 'Cause I'm better than him. Sour
You know-
plus though, right?
But in that case, you know what the opponent
a
could
sour
say?
plus response.
You know what the opponent could say? So are you telling me I brought the right hand of God down on you? I don't think an athlete ever wants to get caught in that discussion.
Are we gonna exit or not?
I would do it
Almost twice.
just to piss
Oh, yeah,
people
yeah,
off.
finish
Really.
that, no problem.
It wouldn't so much be like to piss like the other athlete off, the winner, just to piss people in general off. Like what the fuck? Well, he's thanking God. That means God obviously preferred him over me.
And why would God do that?
I guess we're not all equal
Racist.
we're not all equal, yeah. Especially for the, like a minority thing. I guess he likes white people. God is white. Now I know. I shall embrace atheism from now on. Embrace atheism. What I just said doesn't make any sense whatsoever because you're saying I blame God, but now I'm an atheist. You're-
There is an actual religion that does believe in God but doesn't pray to Him. I forgot the name of that one. I think that would be better suited.
problem with it's not so much the entity of God itself, it's the religion that's around it.
The belief
Yeah.
of Him.
Because I was reading up on this guy and he's saying how religions or these temples and everything like that, if you really understand it, they take away your independence. They kind of suck out your life force.
Yeah, they
Right?
make you dependent.
Because
Totally
at the end of the
dependent.
day, they're saying only through the Lord you can accomplish things, only through us. When in real life,
Which even if
Nothing's
it's
stopping me from...
even if you read texts and stuff like that, the Lord in different versions, He's always saying, "Don't fear," which is saying, live your life,
yeah.
be the maximum you can be, the output. You know what I mean?
Just
It's
keep in
almost
mind
saying-
someone's looking over your shoulder, that's
so
all.
that- yeah, it's like which basically means that the entity or God, the Creator, is saying, "I believe in you. Go forth and do your thing." Right?
See, the problem is,
It's more like, you do something wrong, I'll get you later.
It's not even I'll get you.
That's
It's
it.
just
No, but the
No,
thing
it
is-
karma.
happens. Yeah, that's something like...
yeah. But the thing
Well,
is,
that it's implied that God controls
Yeah.
karma.
my only argument with religious figures is the fact that they narrow every saying down to a specific act, which is why it just becomes like rights and wrongs. But there is no such thing if you read
Called gray
any
area.
religious thing. Yeah, there's so much gray area, and they don't define any of that. They just go for the specifics where they can define it to people and be like, oh, this is tangible, so go ahead, not do it or do it or whatever the case may be.
It goes back to the
And
same
that's
one
where
thing I
it
had about
convolutes
drinking and
any
doing
of the
drugs.
religion or faith. I don't mind religion, I don't mind faith because I have them myself, but I refuse to follow any other person saying saying it should be a certain way, because even though they're old or even though they've gone through a life experience doesn't mean they've done it unbiased. That's the problem with our human mind, is we end up being biased regardless. Because we want a result a certain way, our life. So we want our life's results a certain way. So we try to push a specific faith or specific thinking
An agenda.
An agenda, right? There you go. And that's exactly why I have a problem with it. And I don't go to temples or whatever the case may be.
I have two prime examples that come right out of Islam. You guys know I drink. A little bit of a smoke here and there is not a problem. But Islam
Yeah,
doesn't. You've seen the little bit of a drink, right?
and a little bit of smoking.
Yeah. All Islam actually says, don't do anything that makes you seem like you're possessed by the devil. That's it. Do whatever you want. It's just be in control of yourself. Do things under your own thought process. So it's not don't drink. It's don't get drunk. Not don't smoke weed or something. Don't get high. Like don't get smashed. Don't control yourself.
I like that. Weed is the safest drug. You can never OD on the fucking thing. The worst thing that happens,
You just go to sleep. You can have bushes and bushes of it. Just go to sleep.
and then you wake up like nothing ever
You
happened.
wake up, yeah.
If anything, you wake up more chill. Like
You're just relaxed.
you'll be like clear.
I remember that one episode of Big Bang Theory.
Alcohol is always iffy.
Alcohol doesn't.
You gotta be
sit right with
careful.
me. Too much of it, no.
Yeah, no, too much
It's
of it will
good
kill
for
you.
sharing.
It will
It's
kill
good
you.
for like to share a moment.
Oh yeah, probably like.
No, it definitely will. It'll cause alcohol
poisoning.
It will kill you.
Yeah, I've seen people fuck.
No, but
Why
not
do
even
people end up-
chronic
I
drinkers.
had
But
a
if you
friend-
drink too much in one shot,
Yeah, I had a
that will
friend
kill you.
who was taken to the fucking hospital, had a stomach pump, dude.
Too much alcohol.
And tobacco. I don't like tobacco. I don't.
Tobacco doesn't-
I have a bit of
Nothing for you.
tobacco here and there. It's just I do it
The
light.
thing with tobacco, it doesn't do anything for you.
It doesn't do anything, but the thing is the
Habit.
repercussions, the eventual
Yeah, exactly.
eventual outcome.
That's what I'm
doesn't
saying.
seem-
What's the point? Because you're just filling
Yeah.
up your lungs with
More-
smoke. But
doesn't
what
seem more
what does
interesting.
it do for you, like to make you?
And honestly,
Nothing.
in my
It
family, we
does the
just have a
same thing
tradition.
apparently.
that's
I
all.
heard lightheadedness, but only for 10-15 minutes. But I mean,
It's
I
a
would
freaking-
rather just smoke a joint.
Well, yeah, and,
Well,
and
do it
tobacco
for
is
an
just a
hour, hour
fucking
and a
chemical
half.
that has
Yeah.
all this shit in
Yeah,
it.
nicotine
rat
and all
poison
that
and all
jazz,
that
right?
crap.
Oh my god, man.
In India and Pakistan, there's this thing. It's called pan.
Opium. Right?
No, well, that's separate. There's a thing called pan, where basically it's a specific type of green leaf. You can, for children, they typically use a lot of like sugar syrup and sweetened coconut and everything. But for adults, really, it's just what was it? It's tobacco paste. It's like a cream paste.
There's a
And
lot
then a
of
hard nut in there. No, but
dry fruits and tobacco.
no, but I don't mean the dessert one. I mean the old one. You know, where it's just the brown paste, the white paste, the churran, and that's it. Basically, that thing is covered in tobacco, and it's a tradition in our family that every now and then, everyone that's not a little kid, you're gonna take at least like one or two. Just eat it.
Yeah, pan is pretty popular. But
It's just the kid version doesn't have any tobacco. The kid version is covered in
I
sugar.
don't know the items that go in it. There's a lot of stuff.
There's tobacco in there for sure. Basically, look, if the pan makes your mouth turn red, you have tobacco in it, and it'll kill you. That's pretty much the saying. Just the one that makes your mouth turn red is the bad one. You know that the same saying for poison and all.
Yeah.
That's why I always call for the sweet pan, because the sweet pan they usually don't put it. They give the kids pan to me. I'm fine with that.
Well, actually, but what was it saying that? Like leaves of 3, let it be.
Oh, for the poison ivy one?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot.
Leaves. I think it was like leaves of 3, let it be, and then there was something else.
Poison ivy gives you that like chilling rash, right?
Yeah.
Where you
No, the
scratch
red
it
actually.
hurts.
Yeah. And
No, because I
scratch your
remember
skin off.
once I was a kid, and this happened here in Arundel Park. You know Arundel, right? As a
Bush.
kid, I was there, and I ran through some bushes, right? And I was in shorts, and I looked back. I had like a rash, and
You know what
each
it is,
leg,
bro?
But it was like it wasn't even like it was just spots.
We went for a
I
walk
scratched,
at
and
and
Arundel
it
Park.
hurt like, but it lasted like 10-15 minutes, and then it was gone.
Arundel Park, right?
Then you
next-
just got a
next
light
to
touch
the
then, you didn't get anything,
Riverside
right?
banks. There's boards and everything suggests all the plants that are dangerous. You shouldn't touch them barehanded or have anything touch your skin because it'll affect you.
Mess you
Wear a
up.
long
And that's
sleeve shirt and
exactly what it
pants.
is. They've
Love it.
documented all that. They've actually put boards up of all the animal life
Oh,
in
yeah?
there,
Let's come to our
birds
phone
and
and
stuff
get
like
ready,
that.
okay?
It's a pretty neat walk there, actually.